And the next big question or concern that people have is the cost, because real estate investing is much more capital intensive, meaning it's going to take more money. And this is really now a matter of priorities. And what I've seen is when you prioritize investing in real estate, you will find a way to do it. It might not happen for a number of months, maybe even a couple of years, but if you prioritize becoming a real estate investor, you will find a way to put aside the money. That way you can go out and buy property. And when you go out and become a real estate investor, the nice thing is, well, you can build a cash flow because now you own a hard asset that you can rent out that's paying you with cash flow. And in addition to that, you also get some of the biggest and best tax breaks that our tax code has to offer. As a licensed attorney who is not your attorney, I can tell you that the tax code provides a lot of benefits to real estate investors. And in order for you to capitalize on these benefits that a tax code has to offer, you have to go out and actually invest in real estate as an investor. That way you can capitalize on things like the depreciation deductions, the ordinary and necessary business expenses, and everything else that the real estate tax code has to offer. Because now with real estate, not only can you generate income and pay less money in taxes legally, but you can also flip properties. And when I say flip properties, I don't mean like literally flipping properties. I mean buying a property, holding on to it for at least a year, and then selling the property. If you do that and you make a big profit, well, you can defer the taxes on that. So what I mean is if you go out and buy a $200,000 property today, and let's just assume that you hold on to this property for 5 years, and now you happen to buy this property in a great area where rents are rising, property values are rising. You bought the property for $200,000, and hypothetically, 5 years later, you sold this property for $1 million. Now you'd have a big profit, $800,000 worth of profit, which is a big taxable income. But with real estate, you can do something called the 1031 exchange, which allows you to take all $1 million, go out and buy a new, bigger property that's going to pay you with more cash flow, pay you with bigger profits, and pay $0 in taxes today legally, because the real estate has that 1031 exchange benefit, which you can't do somewhere else. If you bought a stock for $200,000, 5 years later it goes up to $1 million, and you sell it, and then you take all $1 million and buy another stock, you still have to pay taxes on that profit that you got. With real estate, you have special rules that don't apply to other places. But before you go out and do that, talk to a professional. 1031 exchanges are very logistically complex. There's a lot of rules and regulations around them, and you got to make sure you have the right people around you. So make sure you have a good accountant, a good attorney, and a good 1031 professional who's going to help you with that. But just understand that when you invest in real estate, you can build cash flow to fund your lifestyle. Like when I was getting started on my financial education journey, when I started investing in real estate, I realized that, holy moly, I can make cash flow. I can get paid without me having to do something, because at the time I was running an event planning company. And the only way I got paid was if I was hosting a party, or I was working at a wedding, or I was doing some event. And then I realized, whoa, I rented this condo out for $600 a month, and now I'm getting this cash flow, which wasn't really passive at the time because I had no idea what to do to make it passive, but I could kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel that one day this could be passive. And from there, I realized the game is just stacking cash flow. If I can buy enough rental properties, then I can make enough cash flow to fund my lifestyle. If each unit can make me $300 a month, how many units do I need to be able to fund my lifestyle? Is it 10? Is it 20? Is it 100? And then just going out and figuring out how to make it happen. And that was the name of the game for me for a long time, was just buying the properties, buying the units, stacking the cash flow. That way now you have this consistent cash flow coming in that I don't have to work to earn.